Hi and welcome to another video of SFCreation.com. Today I'm going to show you the installation of the full set of skid plate. Okay, the first steps that we need to do is that you need to start with the cross link, and then the mid plate, then the front plate, and then you end up with the rear one. So let's get started. There. Okay. Take the cross link and put back the bolt. One thing important to do is not to tie up everything right now. So we're gonna leave the bolt a little bit loose like this, so we have some play when it's time to install the other plates. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about is this. When it's time to install the mid plate and the front plate, you're gonna have those holes that basically this one here underneath, and then we got this one here and the other one here. Those holes are usually not being used and usually full of dirt and debris and sometimes rust. Since those bolts are the M10 by 125, which means it's a fine thread, it's very important that you clean up those threads. One of the best investment you can make is go buy yourself, how do you call that? A thread cleaner or a thread maker, basically. M10 for metric, 10 millimeters by 1.25. This is the step for the thread, and clean up all your threads that you have in there. Just want to make sure. Yeah. See, I already did clean those, and I can do it by hand. When I started, it was full of rust. So this needs to be done on all four holes that you have here before you start threading anything in there or bolting anything in there, because what you're going to be ending up is screwing up the thread on this and you'll be stuck. So this, don't forget, again, M10 by 125. Take care of this one, because usually the thread maker that you have in there comes by M10 by 1.5. So make sure you specify to the guy on the counter by 1.25. Okay. The mid skid plate. It comes with two M10 bolts, two 3/8/16 for the rear bolts, and two 1/4 inch spacers. Those spacers are only for those that have already the front skid plate. Basically, it's to space out a little bit the 1/4 inch the front plate so that the angle is still good. We'll show you later. So you won't need these for the mid, but they come with the mid. So let's try this. First thing we're gonna do is this right here. Okay, then we go right here. Actually we're gonna install the 3/8 bolts first. There we go. Yes. Okay. All right, let's install the mid skid plate, and then we start with the bolt, the 3/8/16 bolt that goes on the cross link, and then you go like this. You kind of need a second hand. Actually, I'm gonna use this like a third hand, actually. Not a second. Okay, let's try this. should be good. Right in my ear. Okay, so you want to tighten this up a little bit. Like I said again, make sure everything is loose still so that you have some, you'll be able to adjust for the slots. This is very important, so don't tie up everything just yet. So once this mid plate is done, you go with the front, and this is where the spacer, the 1/4-inch spacer comes into play. Since well, this is basically for those that say that you already had my skid plate, my front one, and now you're buying, let's say, the mid and the rear. You're going to need to space out or bring down a little bit the front one, because basically the front one goes over the mid one. So this 1/4-inch space here, you want to apply it here too, so that the angles are the same and there's no stretch or difficulty to tie this up. So those two spacer, like I said, they come with the mid plate. And this is for exactly for those that have the front one also. So let's go ahead and do the front one. Okay, you can hang this one like this. Take the other bolt. No, it's right here. Take the other spacer. Put the spacer in here. Right there. Okay. Okay, remove this. Now at that point, this is where you want to align, basically, if you go, look, show and throw them underneath, so that you can see both plate and then the holes. Boom. Okay. Let's try this one. Again, clean up the holes, the threads. This will make the job a lot easier. Okay, adjustments. Okay, we'll tie it up. That's pretty good. All right, front, middle. Let's go with the rear one. The rear, you start basically by putting those first two ones, and then some kind of support would greatly help, or a friend or whatever. And once the back is supported, this is when we're going to be putting our brackets here that'll hook up to the transmission cross member. So let's try this. Okay, let's tie this up. Leave some play a little bit. Do the other side. All right, now we go for the brackets. Basically, not complicated. 3/16 inch steel. Just basically go over. Okay, the other side. Okay, that's the point where you start torquing everything. As for the brackets, you want to torque both bolts kind of a little bit at a time, because you don't want the bracket to be all tied up on one side. So you want it to be torqued like equally. Feel also with your finger what's the space between the brackets and the skid. So at that point, I know this one is a little bit further. I'm just going to give it a bit here. There you go. You can tie it up a little bit. Okay. Flush to sit. Okay, the other side. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. Feel it. They're about the same. So, final. Good. Okay, this one is tied up. At that point, we're ready to tie up those two. We're gonna need this. There we go. And the front one. What one is the other one? This guy, 17. Boom. Last one. Right here. The other way. Okay, all flush, solid, and now the last is the big bolts where the crosslink was. This is what you do. Finish it up. And voila, we're done. That's it. Hope you enjoy. One thing I forgot to mention during the installation is that it's always a good idea to put some Loctite on the bolts, and also to verify your bolts before and after you go to off-road. It's always a good idea. So that's it. So if you need more information about the skid plates, I'm always available at SFCreation@yahoo.com. Thank you.